Oh, Rachel, it's lovely to have
Hello.
you. And
Hello.
welcome. Meet Rorisang Motuba. Rorisang is
Hi, Rosa.
Hi,
yes,
Rachel.
she
Hi.
just come back not too long ago from the States. She directed a play in New York, which
Okay.
has been nominated for an award. Will
Yo,
she tell us
that's
about that?
excellent.
Yes, she told us
Congratulations.
a little.
Thank you so much,
Uh,
Rachel. So
And
lovely to
Rorisang
meet
Rachel is the manager of George Libraries in the city
you.
of George. She works for the
Wow.
Western Cape government, and she's doing a fabulous job here regarding literacy. And therefore,
Mm,
today is the literacy show. So lovely to have
Yes.
you both, ladies. And
thank you.
I think we're going to have a marvelous discussion today.
Yes, indeed.
It'll be a wonderful discussion. And I hope out of this we help somebody or a few
Yes.
thousand somebodies
Mm,
to look at literacy differently, not just in SA, but around the world. And
mm.
so I want to welcome the Facebook audience. So, Rachel, we're on Facebook. We're live on Facebook currently. So, if you want to share on your own Facebook, you may go ahead. So, let's see. Welcome to our Facebook audience, and thank you all for joining us at the People of Purpose Talk. We have Rorisang Motuba, who has been on the show previously. Rorisang's an actress. She's a playwright and also a director. She recently directed Fences in New York, and she's back in South Africa just doing what she does best, right? And she's involved in many things, and her work is in some way related to literacy. And
Yes.
also we have Rachel Williams, the manager of George Libraries. Rachel works for the Western Cape government in the Western Cape, and she is doing fabulous work here regarding our libraries and just having beautiful literacy programs to help young and old to love reading and to read with meaning and understanding. Because that's what this show is all about today, about how we can improve uh, just that level of comprehension among our fellow South Africans and probably people around the world who want to change that in their lives because it makes such a difference when you
Mm.
read and understand and you communicate from that level. So, ladies,
Mm.
welcome. And without further ado, let's get into the program. And you're both looking beautiful tonight, and I'm so proud to have you as my fellow South African sisters. So, Rachel,
Thank
you're welcome, Rory. So, the first question is for Rachel. So, Rachel, I know there's so many theories and there's so much of writing around literacy. But recently, you and I had a discussion on this show where you shared with me that the figure we have in South Africa for the number of people who can read with with meaning and understanding, that figure stands at 14%. And we agreed that it was a disturbing figure. Therefore, I ask you today, what factors contribute to the gap between basic literacy, in other words, reading and writing, and functional literacy, reading with understanding?
Distinction, Michelle, between basic literacy and functional literacy is
Mhm,
important as even those who can read and write may struggle with
mhm,
practical tasks and
mhm,
it's simple things like filling out a job application.
mhm,
So functional literacy refers actually to one's ability to use language skills to cope with everyday demands. In other words, if one's ability to read and write is so limited, then it can actually prevent a person from functioning in society for basic things like purchasing goods or reading a bus schedule or following instructions on medicine bottles may determine a person or make it very difficult just to perform these type of duties. So that is why the matter of functional literacy needs to be addressed. And literacy in South Africa, as in the present state, also is a very complex issue that's being discussed, and because it's influenced by a lot of things. If you think historically, socially, and economical factors, all these factors actually influence this complex issue of literacy. And then we also struggle with population growth in our society that may have an influence on it. And then we find also ourselves in a multilingual society here in South Africa, because we have most of our 11 official languages. Taking into account also now there is what you call it, the language for the deaf, what you call, actually hearing, that's hearing impaired. So there's also that matter that needs to be addressed. So what we're busy with now at the moment is we actually roll out a lot of programs. And one of the things that we are involved with is what we call Nalibali. Nalibali is a isiXhosa phrase, which means it starts with a story. And the Nalibali is actually a campaign that was launched in 2012 to promote literacy and also to foster a culture of reading. So this initiatives, when you look at the 5th of February 2025, we will be having what we call World Read Aloud Day. And then this will give us an opportunity to link up in all provinces and read in our mother tongue. So regardless of where you find ourselves, there will be a story in your particular language that you decide to choose on World Read Aloud Day. So Dali Bali collaborates with libraries to create conditions that's conducive to start reading clubs, and also to offer material in one's preferred language. And the campaign has reached over 159,191 children thus far through reading clubs, and 63% of the South Africa population was actually reached by means of different media campaigns that is being made use of. So now, besides Nalibali, we also got what you call the Funda Mzansi reading campaign. This was rolled out in September this year, also in all 11 official languages. And the spelling bee is being tested, as well as impromptu reading. And there's also debate that we focus on, and book review. So all these methods are being used to encourage people to get involved in the reading process.
Rachel, that's fantastic. I mean, that's heartening to hear that so much is being done, and not just in English, but in other languages. I think that's in the indigenous languages. I think that's amazing. That's fantastic. And well done to you, the departments involved, and everyone involved in these programs. So, Rory-san, what do you have to think? What do you have to say about this? This is phenomenal.
Firstly, thank you so much, Rachel. I think this is incredible. And, you know, when you're asking that question, Michelle, my first thought was we come from this beautiful land that we're in, and there's so many languages and cultures, right? But because of how we have been oppressed, it means that there has been dominant languages, and it means that someone may be illiterate, but it's not necessarily illiteracy. It's actually just that they have not been taught in a language that they understand, that is of their own, right? So so a person who's not fluent in English, and English may be their fourth or fifth language, but that's how they taught maths or science or geography or history, you know? And so then that sets people back in that kind of way. And so I'm really I think it's so important that we concentrate on moving forward educationally in teaching people in their languages, because why shouldn't people be able to learn in their languages and read and write and
Mhm.
communicate in the languages? Why shouldn't it be that there are signs in their languages and roadmaps and those kinds of things? Because yeah, there's been a dominant language, and they shouldn't be. They shouldn't have
And that's
been.
inclusion. That's a
Yeah.
beautiful point. And I do think that Rachel made some important points there, and she informed us of a lot that's happening. She gave us the inside story because we're on the outside and we're seeing how it's playing out in a country
Yes,
that is so diverse as ours. And here we
exactly.
hear that these programs are taking place, and that's heartening. And that's what I
Mm,
love about our country, that
yeah,
these changes are, everything starts with baby steps, right? But we're
yeah,
getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. So,
absolutely.
Rory-san, how has literacy influenced your journey as a
Mm,
world-renowned actress and playwright who featured in a Disney movie?
yes, thank you. Literacy has been everything to me. I'm a writer by profession, but I'm a writer at heart.
Mhm,
And there's nothing that happens in my industry without a script. Nothing. And as some of us know, it says in the Bible, in the beginning was the word. So it's nothing. No production can proceed, can prepare, can be executed without writing.
mhm,
And reading and executing that. And so, for me, I've always been drawn to writing and reading as a child.
mhm.
I recall when it was in the Harry Potter phase, when those books were coming out, and I remember I would force my parents, I'd beg them to buy me the book the minute it came out, and I'd spend the entire weekend reading a 500-page book, and I wouldn't speak to anyone. I was just absorbing it all. And it has influenced how I see the world. I think books are magical. And so I think it's so important that we all be able to enjoy them, because it's a pastime that doesn't cost anything but nourishes
Mhm,
you, enriches you.
mhm,
So for me, it's made my life everything. It's made my life in technicolor. It's made my life effervescent. That's literacy is everything. And I continue to work on literacy. That's why you continue to read books. It's not just that now you have to keep on going on that beautiful journey, of learning about languages and stories and storytelling. And you learn that from being literate, you know. So it's very
mhm.
important to me.
Wonderful. I love to
Thank,
hear. I love to
thank you.
hear that, and I hope it's encouraging young minds as well
Yes, yes,
pursue their dreams
yes,
through literacy, because you did that. And well, for a young girl to, you know, uh, find her path on a Disney movie, you acted
yeah,
with alongside Lupita Nyong'o, and that must have been just
yes,
amazing. So, would you like
yes.
to tell Rachel and I a little bit about that?
That was amazing. So it was an incredible movie called The Queen of Katwe, based on a true story about a 14-year-old prodigy who's became a chess master at the age of 14. And so I played the villain, which is so thrilling for me. I played a Disney villain. I never thought I would. But the person that she, has like the big kind of chess game at the end of the movie. And so I was in this amazing hall with a bunch of chess players, and Lupita Nyong'o was there, David Oyelowo was there, and was directed by the incredible Mira Nair. And I was only on set for maybe a week or so, but it was the time of my life and was just thrilling. When you're just sitting in a space and you just are at peace because you know that you where you're supposed to be. And that was amazing. Also, because I had to spend days learning chess, like the chess games that we're going to play. And that was so fantastic for me because I'd played chess when I was younger and I had to
Yeah.
now revisit it, and the choreography of it all. Oh, I know. It was honestly one of the best blessed moments of my life that I
Yes,
cherish.
ma'am.
Cherish.
And
Yeah.
Rory Sang, I have to ask, what was it like working with Mira Nair?
She is incredible. She is so much fun. I mean, I think I met her on set and I couldn't believe I was meeting her because I've loved her movies for such a long time. And she is so warm. She's so kind. And I learned so much from watching her because back then directing wasn't on my bingo card yet when I was doing this movie, but watching her, I realized that I took on so much of her wisdom, how she treats people, how she speaks to actors, how she just films. It was a masterclass for me to watch her, and it was a treat, and she's some directors can get quite tense, it's a hectic environment, a film set, and they are not approachable, and she's not that at all. She's warm, she's welcoming, she's open, and she wants you to feel good. And that's the best thing that you can ask for in a director. So it
That's
was
lovely.
life
That's
changing.
lovely. And you're so humble. You've done all of this and you come on our show and you share with us. So, Rachel, we actually have a celebrity in the room.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, we're very
Invite me
fortunate.
to the
Very
show.
fortunate.
Yeah, so look, Rachel, if you need to ask Rory Sang any questions, Rory Sang, if you need to ask Rachel any questions just to get the conversation going, go ahead. Because
I do have a question for Rachel.
go ahead.
Um, Rachel,
Yes.
I'm curious because I've noticed a disturbing trend in that libraries are closing, or some libraries are closing. I think there's a campaign at the moment to open up the Joburg Library, and I think libraries are so important, and so is there any way, how can we keep libraries open, public libraries, that people can just go in and rent a book and read a book, and just have access? Do you have a sense of what we can do to keep that alive? Because it's important. We need to keep books alive.
Yes.
Yeah, it is actually for the whole of the communities to be involved.
Mm.
When we, for instance, look, if I can now speak about George itself,
Yes.
there's such a huge demand at our side for libraries, and we find that in a lot of areas, where there's a lack of space, and here we specifically think of the informal settlements. Children are finding themselves in cramped spaces where there's limited place, to go and study. So now they come to the library and they use the library as a safe space where they can not only study, but they can also uh, uh, make use of different activities. There are even people, older persons, that are coming and they just sit and they do their knitting in these safe spaces, what they call safe spaces. They sit there and they do knitting. Others are playing chess. And then also we've got internet facilities, Wi-Fi facilities, where even if you come with your own phone, then you can just link up and get free Wi-Fi at all the libraries. So a lot of people are not aware of all the programs, all the events, and all the resources that we have now at our different libraries. And they are actually, all these facilities and stuff are actually free. So it should just be brought under their attention, that they should actually come and speak to the librarian and ask what is on offer, what's on the table, how can I improve my way of life, or how can I get people actually involved to make use of the facilities that is available for them.
Oh, wow. Rachel, that's fantastic. And Rory, thank you for asking Rachel that question because I think that there are people out there who can benefit from this because not everyone has internet in their home, has Wi-Fi
Yes.
and, 24/7 internet. And then again, uh, so many wonderful facilities offered by the library free of charge that can benefit
Yes.
a person. I mean,
Yes.
human beings should continue learning till the day we die. We don't stop. That's
Mhm.
how life is actually supposed to be lived. And it makes life fuller and richer and gives us a purpose to live. The more we learn, the more we discover the world and each other. And if if this is happening, we need to let people know. So I encourage people around the country, go and become a member of your local library if you're not. And if you are, pull out your card and go back and find out from your librarian what facilities and what opportunities you have within the library. And you
Mm.
can grow as a person to read and perhaps join a book club if there's one happening there. There's so many activities. Rachel's always filling us in on new activities for the children and I think adult literacy. And if we can have this, perhaps even drama and theater in little spaces in the library, that would be very nice as well. So I would encourage people, if you're watching right now and if you just feel that life is expensive for you and you just don't know what to do to entertain yourself or to just grow as a person, go and seek out the library in your area. Find out what they offer and get involved, just get involved. Speak to your librarian. Rachel, thank you for that. So,
Yeah.
Rachel, the next question's for you. And you just spoke about internet and well, I suppose that would help with also e-learning tools to be leveraged within a library sort of space to bridge the literacy gap. Does the library currently have anything like that?
Yes. For us now, we make use of the website. And I must once again thank you, Michelle, because you actually gave us the opportunity, especially during COVID. You really pulled us through with a beautiful uh, read aloud session also that you had at one of our libraries. And then we placed that on our website. And the people really enjoy this type of read aloud sessions. So, Rory-san, if you by any chance would also maybe would like to read aloud for us and make a clip for us for our library services, that would be a wonderful way if we can perhaps put it on our website for people to see, because people like to hear the human voice. And
Yeah.
the way I can see you are talking, that is you're full of energy, full of life,
Yes,
and
she
that is the
is.
type of readers that we actually need in our library. So in that way, you can just ask any or approach any library and ask them. We also got what we call now. We're going to link up the city, some of the libraries in George, with other libraries in the country. They've got what we call Mobi Reader, and this will
Mhm.
we try. This will be a become a national event. So they will start very soon here by us, where children will actually be encouraged to make use of their cell phones and get involved in different uh, also read aloud sessions and make to ensure that they make clips and place it on. But we're not 100% sure as to how it is working. We will still discuss, still in the discussion sessions, but we will lead marketers and advocates also for this program, because that will also be at the end of the day become a national event.
Wow, that's fantastic, Rachel. Well done.
Yes.
Brilliant. And I
Same.
suppose there's an app coming out of that, right?
We will discuss that as well.
Yeah.
Wow,
We will go into discussions
excellent.
very soon, and then hear everything
Um,
about it around it.
amazing, amazing. So, I would like to pose the next question to Rory-san about how storytelling,
Mm.
drama, theater can encourage a country to improve its literacy.
Mm. Um, that's such a wonderful question, Michelle. You know, the thing is that we are all natural born storytellers. That's what people must first understand, is that we are born telling stories. Children tell stories all the time, whether it's the truth or not. You know, what happened? Oh, the chair broke the glass. Really? Tell me about the naughty chair. There's story time for a reason with kids. Actually a magical time. So, and I think South Africa in particular has an amazing story to tell, and we're still
Mm,
writing it. We're still writing it, and there are many chapters and volumes of it, right? And we are an encyclopedia of healing as a country. We truly are. And so what's important is for us to keep on speaking to each other, because that's the thing, because the writing is the manifestation of what's happening here and what's happening here in the head and the heart. So that's what's important for us, is to stay connected. And how we do that is to continue telling stories. You know, I was telling you earlier, I came from the cradle of mankind just recently. You know, this is one of the oldest place in the world that we come from. So we need to keep on telling that story. We have to keep on telling that story, and it's important so that we tell that story from someone who's 5 to someone who's 95. And that's what keeps us alive as artists, as people. We all saw through COVID that art was a thing that got a lot of us through it. The consumption of books, of music, of movies. You know, it was art. It was storytelling. It was telling each other, how was your day? That's what got us through it. You know,
That is true. That is
that's
true.
what got us through, because the isolation was difficult. But what got us through is the communication and that story. And that's how we go through things in life, is just to keep on telling the story of how we're doing. You know, it's how we also remain present. And that's what's important. And so I want us as a nation to prioritize it. I want us to prioritize books and education, because a book is also a resource. So there's also practical conversation that needs to happen, right? There's a conversation around policy that needs to happen, a conversation about giving children books and allowing them to read it and enjoying it, and that being prioritized. And it shouldn't be a privilege. That's the most important thing. Should not be a privilege.
Yes, that's
That's the
very important. It, you know, every child and every human being deserves that right, I feel.
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
It's one of the most natural ways of being, to tell each other
Yes.
stories. We're telling
Yes.
each other stories with how we dress, how
Yes.
we, the homes we choose to live in,
Mm-hmm.
how we decorate those homes. And
100%.
yeah, we're constantly telling stories, but the question is, are we aware of that? The awareness. And that is why I love libraries, because it is
Mm.
a place of awareness. It was one of
Mm-hmm.
my favorite places to go as a child. You know, when
Mm.
we were kids, um, we didn't have Harry Potter back in the day, Rory sang, but we had our library and we had all our books. I mean, I still discuss with my husband the books that we read as children. And it's
Mm.
lovely to be able to talk about your childhood through the
Mm.
books. You know, that's part
Absolutely.
of our histories.
Yeah.
And Rachel, I have to tell you that Rory Sang also has a copy of It's My Horn. And she loved it. So, Rory Sang, I have something important. Well, Rachel will tell you what she
Yes.
did with the book. Well, we've done a whole lot of things with it in George, but Rachel did something very special this year with It's My Horn.
Oh.
So, Rachel, you can take it from there.
So, yeah, so Roro, I was invited to a conference at Amaswi Museum, and we had to talk about storytelling, the importance
Mm.
of storytelling, and then link it up with different organizations and also people that we collaborate with. So I chose Michelle's book, It's My Horn, because there is so many things to learn out of it. Uh, it first of all teaches children to be aware or become aware of different emotions, to have emotions like sympathy and empathy, and also to take care of the wild and wildlife. And also, as the rhinoceros is an endangered species, to children learn so much more about the specific animal. And after I delivered the paper, it was accepted very well. And then we were also encouraged, but now later on, to actually submit a paper, a formal paper around it. So I didn't have the time yet to look into that, but there will be a lot of advocating around this book because there are so many valuable lessons for children to learn from it, to get out of it. It's a
Wow, that's
beautiful,
incredible.
beautiful illustrated book.
Wow, that's
Thank
so special.
you for sharing that again, Rachel. And yes,
Oh,
Lisa, I wanted to share that with you
you.
because that book is so special. Rachel
Mm,
knows the history of it. The cover, the artwork cover, was my very first art auction in London
mm,
at
mm,
Save the Rhino International, the very first. The
mm,
second was Blue Rhino, but that
mm,
cover it's an actual artwork, and someone owns it now, and it was
mhm,
collected at an auction at the Prince Albert Suite, the London Zoo. So it has a
wow,
long story, and kids get excited when you tell them that story, and when you tell them that every single illustration is actually an artwork that's been
mm,
accepted. Kids love that because children relate to art. And I do thank Rachel for giving the story credence because it also highlights the rhino cause.
mm.
And just yesterday, I read about this rhino called Baraka. He turned 30 years old. Now
Wow.
that's
Yeah.
something. He's blind, his eyesight's gone. He's at the Old Pajeta Conservancy. But imagine he made it to 30 years, Baraka,
Mm,
and his eyesight's going away, and he's an older rhino. But that continuation of that species, it comes through our books, our plays, our libraries, and the children take that into the future because they will have to protect them once we're gone. I think that then we're doing just a little bit of what we're supposed to do here. And
that's,
yeah, I think that's what it's all about at the end of the day. And
mm.
Rachel, in terms of the Moby reading project that you spoke about, do you have any public and private enterprise partnerships going on there?
We're still in the discussion phase. Once more information becomes available, I will definitely keep you posted, Michelle. I will make sure that I filter that information through to whoever
Yes,
needs
that'd be
to become
wonderful.
aware of it.
That would be
And then
wonderful.
also we will make sure that it is on our website so that
Mhm.
people can maybe also just look there if they want information around it.
Beautiful. So we just keep in touch with your website as well. And
Yes.
Rory-san, I'll share the website with you. I'll send the link to you so you can keep in touch with George. I
Thank
love
you.
you're welcome. My goal is to connect our South African cities with love.
Mm,
We
mm,
all into hearts and love.
mhm,
We all
mhm.
big, it's all about the big love, right? But
Yes.
also through the work that we're doing. And Rachel's really humble about her standing in the city, but she's
I can tell. I can
she's
tell.
a leader. She's a
Yeah.
leader, and she's a leader in a very important part of our lives, how we
Mhm,
read
mhm.
and what
Indeed.
we read, yeah, and how it will reach the world, how it will reach the children. Because what changed my life as a child came from a book.
Mm,
So if anybody looks at me today and they say, how did she become that? You need to go and see what I read. Of course, I had beautiful parents who read to me as a child. I mean, I was read to before I knew how to read, and I read
mm,
before I went to school. And
mm,
that's what Rachel wants. She wants communities to develop childhood reading and to teach children how to read even before they go to school. That is possible because
mm,
the brain development is so different when a child can do that, you know.
mm,
And
mm.
one of the things I love about our South African cities, we're connected to each other.
Yeah.
We're not in competition with each other. Rory, you are in Johannesburg. You've come from the cradle, and then I'm sure you have networks in Pretoria and other parts
Yes.
of Gauteng. That's how you live and work, and that's how I live and work. I mean, I'm here, but I'm connected throughout the whole country.
Mhm,
And
mhm,
I love that we can share our lives with each other. It's all about sharing. We're sharing
mm,
understanding, meaning of life. We're sharing our ways of life. And our national identity is actually safe when we can do that. because that's a good way to keep hate out as well. And therefore, I thank you both for just sharing your lives in the capacity that you do. Rory, going into the world, it's not easy. Travel is not glamorous unless you're traveling in your own jet, right? It's
Right.
not.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You're very vulnerable. Yes.
There you go, but you do it.
Yeah.
Purpose is something that
Mm.
takes everything out of you and then gives you back so much. And I see that you both live and work with purpose. I've known Rachel for a long time now, and we're practically neighbors in our city, and our city is so small. We live and work around each other, but I don't know how we get to just miss each other for months and months and months, Rachel, and then we meet like this. But I hope that these gatherings grow across the land for people to come together through books and have these discussions, and not just children. I feel we have amazing programs in the country to help our kids get to the next level. And the
Sure.
children are really, they're growing. Within South Africa, the children are growing. They are so smart. I love associating with the young ones. When Rachel invited me to the libraries some years ago to read to the kids, my book wasn't even published. I read it from my iPad. And they knew everything. They knew
Oh.
about the rhino and the elephant. And I wasn't sure that they'd actually seen a rhino or an elephant, but their understanding was on point. And they just loved having that time with us, Rachel. It was phenomenal. And they were young
Yeah.
children. They were very young.
Yes.
They were like 6 to 9 years old. Am I right? About that age group.
Yes, that's so true. Yeah, that is so true,
They were
Michelle.
so
There were
receptive.
two classes actually that
Were there two
joined in
classes?
on the event. And
Wow.
we managed to get some publicity because just after that, there was a whole write-up around it in the George Herald. And as
Yes.
the children also, they enjoyed it so much. And our communications officer actually came out that day to witness it herself. And then she wrote a beautiful article and placed it in the George Herald.
Yeah.
Yes, I did
The
see that.
selfless.
People were sending the article to me. They were sending me the link because I'd missed that one. And they said, "Do you know you're in the George Herald?" And there were pictures and that. What I loved about that was uh, the event was at the library, and you and your department arranged it. It was done to perfection, Rory-san. You would have been so proud had you
Wow.
attended. And going in as the reader, I was touched at the little details that Rachel and her office had taken care of just to make me feel welcome. And of course, the kids they were next level. As I walked through to take my seat to read to them, they were running toward me and hugging me. It was quite funny.
Oh, so sweet.
It was one of the
Yes.
most touching moments of my life. And thank you, Rachel, for doing that and just making life so much sweeter and doing it through books. That's meaningful.
Yeah, and we actually studied the photos afterwards. And when you look at the images of the children, all of them, they were just focusing their whole attention. You grip their attention, and you can see it in the photos itself because Michelle's got a beautiful way and a beautiful manner in which she portrayed the story, and it really captivated the children. So we had a look at the images afterwards, and each and every child, their attention was 100%
Yes,
towards Michelle.
they were all focused. I
There
also
you
felt
can see how
that.
good a
Yes.
storytelling technique that she made use of was actually.
Thank you. Thank you for that, Rachel. That was a beautiful memory. Rory, one day we will invite you to George
Please
to
do.
be a
Please.
part of that. That would
I'll
be
be
wonderful.
there. I'm RSVPing now to say
You
yes.
are sleeping now. Great. I love that. You're ahead of your game. Ladies,
Yeah.
thank you so much. I'm going into an 8 o'clock
Okay.
meeting with a group of actors, indie actors, and they made a movie. So I'm going to be talking to them about their movie. It won an award in Durban.
Oh, bless them. That's
Yeah, it
amazing.
won that
Beautiful.
48-hour award. So I'm going into that call now. In
Okay.
fact, I think I won't cut this call. I'll invite them on. Would you like to meet them before you say goodbye?
Oh, I'd love to meet
Yes,
them.
that
Okay,
would be
great.
wonderful.
You're also
Let's
great
That
at
would be nice.
introducing us. Yeah, so it'd be
great.
wonderful.
Let's
Good
just
connecting us.
invite Zaf. Oh, that
But
would be
Rachel, I wanted to
wonderful.
say bless you for the work that you do. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you so much.
Thank
It's
you
such a
also, Roy.
thank
I
you.
think that we will learn also a lot of you. I look forward, for if you now read the story to us. We're
Yes,
hoping
I
to
will.
it.
That was a yes from me. I don't know if you heard, but I was
Oh,
emphatically saying I will do it. Yes.
thank you so much.
Thank you for the offer. Absolutely. It'll make my heart very warm. Thank you so much. And I will come to
Thanks.
Georgia. I've been threatening Michelle for a while,
Oh, you
but
Yeah,
must. You
I
must.
have
that
to
would be
also.
nice. That would be
Nice.
absolutely splendid.
Thank you. Michelle, you have an 8 o'clock? What time do you knock off? My goodness.
This is my last two shows for the year. And then
Nice.
we have a wonderful December closing. We
Uh-huh.
have the Honorable Helen Giddings. I'm actually saying it for the first time. We haven't even advertised it. She's going to be, we're doing the life and times of Helen Giddings to close.
Oh,
And then we're having Marina Correa from Houston, Texas, who will do the
mhm.
Christmas message. And that's a wrap for 2024. It's
Oh,
been quite a year at the
yeah.
People of God.
Yeah.
Kept me busy. It's been
Mhm.
quite a year. So
Mhm.
I must say, you ladies have come in for the wrap. We're wrapping up with you and the cast of the movie's called Flower.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you.
Mhm.
I mean, thank you so much for having me. I'm always so thrilled to be on the show.
Oh, Rory
So,
Sang, it's always a joy to have you. You know, Rachel, I must tell you, Rory Sang and her sister Ipileng are like my own daughters. They're like my children.
Yeah.
I'm their
And
honorary mom.
yeah.
Yeah.
how long do you know each other now?
Oh,
Michelle, how
it's
many years has it been now? Years. It's been a few years.
a number of years,
Mm,
yeah.
During
I
COVID,
yeah.
I think so.
no, it was
At least
before that. It was before
before.
that.
Yeah.
Since 2016, 2017.
Yeah, I think so.
2017. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm significant.
It is. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Mm,
Wonderful. And you must meet her sister, Ipileng. She's also lovely.
she is.
Yeah, she spent many years in California and now she's back in SA. I'm glad she came
Yes.
back home. We need her here.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We do.
So it's like, we need lovely young women like Ipileng with strong
Mm,
voices.
well, yeah, strong voices, effervescent and intelligent and passionate.
All
Yeah.
of that. All of that. Zaf
Mhm.
is in. Okay, good. So Zaf is a life coach. He's
Mhm.
doing great work in KZN and he comes on the show and he coaches people. He's got a
Okay.
wonderful presence and he directed. There he is. Zaf, hi. Meet Rorisang Motuba.
Hello.
You
How's that?
Hi.
gotta unmute. Okay, Zaf, you need to unmute.
Hi, Rory Song. Hi,
Hi,
Rachel.
hi.
Hi, Zeb.
Rory
How
Hello.
are you?
Hi, Zed.
and
Great, thanks.
Rachel Williams. Rachel is the manager of George Libraries. Rory
Okay,
Sang is, well, you'll be interested. Rory Sang's an actress.
all right.
She
Yes, why
actually acted in a Disney movie alongside Lupita Nyong'o, right? Yeah.
Yes, that's correct. That's
not? Okay,
correct.
cool, man. Yeah, okay. Which movie was that? That's quite cool, man.
Thank you so much. It was quite a few years ago, Queen of Katu is a Disney movie, but since then I've been doing TV, a lot of commercials since then, and some TV shows that have been on Netflix. So it's been great. It's been
Lovely.
wonderful. Thank you.
Acting is always nice, you know. I always say you get to play the characters without the consequences.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, it's a wonderful playground that I'm in. I'm very happy.
And
Below,
Rachel's
below you,
manager,
Nerusha, who's joined us on the call. I know you had the 48-hour film festival.
yes.
Rory.
So I shared with the ladies your 48
Okay,
hour.
cool.
Yes,
Yeah.
Ladies,
congratulations.
you want to sit in on the next part, you're welcome to do so. But if you want to leave, I understand. But if you want to sit in, go ahead.
I would like to know where I can watch your film, please. Where can, I know there's probably a
No,
question that's going to happen, but where can, because I can't sit in, unfortunately, but I'd love to know where I can watch your film, and congratulations.
Thanks. Well, I'll get your information from Michelle, because I do
Yes.
believe that it's possibly going to be shown on TV. So until then, we will keep the recording, to prevent it from going online and stuff. But yeah.
Wonderful. Congrats again. And Michelle, please, I'd love to get in touch because I've never done the 48-hour festival and challenge. And I'm so,
You've never. Well, here's a lady you need to speak to, Nerusha. Nerusha is actually, she's the producer of the KZN chapter for the 48-hour film project. So I will connect you because I'm connected to Nerusha.
Yeah.
I'll connect you to her. So Nerusha, just so you know, Rorisang is an actress.
Wow.
So she's actually Hollywood level because she worked in a Disney. She actually acted in a Disney movie, and Mira Nair directed the movie she acted in.
Amazing.
So
Thanks. So please connect us, Michelle, as you always do.
I will
Thank
do.
you.
I will do.
Thank
That's what I do best. That's what I do
Thank
best.
you. And I have to go, but sending you all love. And yes, I would love to connect with you both very soon. And thank you, Michelle, as always.
I'll connect you with Zaf as well.
Love you.
God bless you, darling. Take care. Take
Thank
care.
you.
Thank you. Thank you from my
Rachel,
side
are you
also,
staying on
Michelle.
or do you have to go as well?
I'm also leaving now.
You're
Thank you
leaving.
so
Okay,
much.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I'll keep in touch. I'll drop by the library one of the days.
100%. Thank you.
Thanks,
God bless.
guys.
Have a
Bye-bye.
beautiful
Bye-bye.
evening, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.